Hello, hello, 390 Wagon Master here. So, this is my OSKERBLOCK, I hope I'm saying that right, OSKERBLOCK SWR and RF power meter. This is a digital power meter, and I think they call it the UR1. We'll check it out on the back. But anyway, so I've been doing a little bit of research with this, and we're on this device, and there's not much out there other than this comes from about 1984, give or take a year or a couple of years. And the reason why I say that is because I found this model in different, or this device in different power configurations. So I believe this is the I think it's 3 to 144 meg 200 watt model SWR meter, power meter, and it seems to be pretty on. I mean, for a digital meter, I've put this up against, you know, the Drake W4 and the Bird, and I'm getting average, you know, we're within like 10% here or there. So it's kind of interesting, but the more I've been using it lately, it's been kind of messing up. And of course, you know, when you don't use this stuff for a long period of time, they will act up. Of course, it's not doing it now. Lovely. Okay, so I have a poorly tuned SWR. I'm on channel 23. We're doing AM, and we're just gonna horse around with this for a minute, and I'll show you what's going on. So I don't really know how this is supposed to operate. I don't think it's supposed to stay on your last SWR. I'm not sure if it has like a memory in here. But see, as you can see, I turned it on and off a few times, and we had no display at all. So it didn't even tell you the device was on. I am going to assume this is how it should be when it's running. Okay, 00 with some sort of a pilot light. See, now it's working just fine because I put some RF into it, but if it sits for a while, it will start going, it just won't show anything. So anyway, I'll show you how this works. Enough yapping. Let's get back to work here. So I'm going to slap in an AM carrier. I don't know really what it is. It's low. And like I say, I have a high SWR here just because I'm just demonstrating this. But so we're going to turn up the power. Now my external power meter right now says about 25 watts. So this is a tad off. And 25 on here is just a little over about 30 or so on my my meter. Of course, that's with the antenna inserted, so these readings are kind of bogus. When I checked them on the Drake and the Bird before, you know, they were on a dummy load, so I'm getting bogus power readings. But anyway, this is the gist of it. Okay, and I just have it keyed up, and I'm just giving it some RF power here. But it's pretty interesting. So my little light here is washing this out, but these are red digits, or I should say LEDs. Where's my little pointer here? These are red LEDs, a very nice mellow red, but they're red, green, and these are like an orangish red color, kind of an odd color, and then of course green. And it's pretty interesting. Here's what it says on top. You can freeze that if you'd like. But anyway, let me unkey here. But anyway, with the, see, I believe that's supposed to go to 00. It used to do that. Now, I've only owned this piece for a few years. But it seemed like when I got this a few years back, it acted like this right here. And I believe that's the way it should be. Anyway, I forgot what the price was. I think these were, well, I don't really know. I want to say $89. I found an ad for this in a British amateur radio catalog, and then there was something else here in the States. But anyway, like I say, about 1984 vintage. So let's take it apart and take a look inside. Okay, so I opened up the device, and it's kind of a weird enclosure design. They've got like side panels These are like stamped steel side panels. These are aluminum, and they are threaded. Anyway, it's just really weird. This is on its own, and then the front piece up here is just a piece of plastic. And what I thought was interesting, let me grab a little pointer, was just this kind of stuff right here. Let me get my pointer in here. There we go. So this is obviously a magnet wire, coated magnet wire, but see how they like touch each other and go up over these components. And then this is a little sketchy here, but these open wires, but these, you know, these are coated. What are they, like? I want to say epoxy coated. It's been a while since I messed with that stuff. Anyway, we have a little regulator. I'm going to assume that's a LM7810 type device here, right? We could measure that, I guess. But I'm not, look, I am going to just say right off the bat, we are not going to be dealing with any bad solder connections. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here. But it's an interesting device. So these come out of Japan, and I guess they have a couple other products, some meters and whatnot. And one of the meters looked kind of weird. Just the way it was. It just looks pretty complicated to run. But anyway, these goofy green 150-year-old looking SO239s are common on all the other ones that I saw. I've never seen one on the internet with a serial number this high. They're usually 202. But yeah, Tokyo, Japan. A really cool looking board. But I don't know. I'm not too sure about this. What do you guys think about this? Should I recap this? Put some good Nichicons in here? Is it worth it? I don't even know what something like this is worth. But it's a very interesting looking device, that's for sure. Okay, so I've got it back together. So I have cycled this several times, and it seems to be working correctly. So here we go. I'm a happy pup. Okay. Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just that freshen up. So again, right, so here's the caps. The caps test fine out of circuit with the old tester. And I like that little tester. It seems to work pretty well. It will show a bad cap, but you know, they're not tested with anything going to them, any power or anything going to them. And my whole thing was I knew there was going to be a bunch of ICs in here, and I just figured if any of these caps are messing up, it's going to have an effect. I mean, even just the slightest. So anyway, I'm a pretty happy pup. So I will put it back together, and then we will go and you like my workbench there? Isn't that disgusting? All right. Anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so the device is put back together. I thought I'd kill the lights here, see if we could get the proper colors to show up, but they're not. So anyway, I have it in line. We'll turn it on, and I've let this cycle, or I should say sit for a while, and then I cycled it several times just to make sure I got the same startup, or let's call it a boot up. And it's been consistent. Very interesting little project for sure. Okay, so this is a red LED, this is a yellow, this is a green, and then this of course is red, but it looks orange. It's just like an orangish red in real life, just it's weirding out on the camera. And then these are a nice, really pretty red, so pretty interesting stuff. Capacitance in this thing must be an issue, and I'll show you why in just a second. And it's just, I think it's that circuitry, you know, when I saw all them chips in there, I had a feeling that just any capacitor acting weird in there is going to have something to do with this. Solder joints were like flawless. I just found a couple that were weird, but no big deal. I was just probably being a little anal about it. So let's put some signal to it. And I have the radio dialed down really low. And I know that looks like it's flashing, but there it is. There's no power. It's sensing something, huh? Not pretty cool. And there you go. And of course it climbs as I apply power to it. Okay, so it stays at that SWR, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if that's supposed to do that. Again, no info on this puppy at all. I know that, and the reason why I'm talking about the capacitance is, if let's get another reading. Okay, so there's another okay, here's another reading. Okay, it's staying on, right? Now, did you see how I did that momentarily and it wasn't? But I'll turn it off, turn it back on. I didn't let it discharge, right? So we'll sit here for a second. And there it is, it discharged. Kind of weird. But anyway, needless to say, an interesting project. I don't know what these things are worth. To me, it's just kind of a digital light toy, right? So let's put it in sidebands over here. And let me get my soldering pin out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3. Hello, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pretty interesting little light show. Hello, radio. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello, radio. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to assume that that's the way that does. It'll just stay on that last digit. It's still charged. Still charged. And let's let it power down for a second. There we go. I'm thinking that's a wrap, boys. I think we're done. So I'm going to call that success. So there you go. Another episode of Kitchen Table CB Repair. You know, basically just a soldering pin. And get good with your solder sucker, guys. That's my favorite weapon of choice. I love it. Anyway, there you go. Please leave questions or comments down below. Thanks for watching. The OSKERBLOck. What was the number of this thing again? Oh, a U-9er. Uniform hyphen the number 9 Echo Romeo. OB-592-U was on the printed circuit board. Anyway, pretty cool little device. All right, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. So subscribe, and please leave questions or comments down below. Cheers.